Now, ever since he took part in a school concert back in Crossmolina in County Mayo as a kid, Marc Roberts felt he was destined for a career in showbiz, and indeed he was right, because in '97 he represented Ireland in Eurovision and indeed came second, and then later he received much critical acclaim for his tribute concert to John Denver. Well, it was about then that his showbiz pal Daniel O'Donnell began to urge him to take up songwriting, and the fruits of that are several songs written in collaboration in Daniel and Marc himself, and they've appeared on Daniel O'Donnell's latest best-selling album.
I saw you at an airport, ticket in your hand. I got a feeling in my heart I didn't understand.
A spontaneous burst of applause for Marc Roberts as he performed at the 1997 Eurovision Song Contest before a television audience of 300 million.
One moment of your life, mysterious woman, I wonder did you see?
Any chance you get to represent your country, to me, is the ultimate accolade, and I loved it. I can vividly remember the 3 steps walking up onto the stage on the night of the actual gig. People say, like, what was it like? It was the nearest thing to putting frozen chips into really hot oil. Everything just erupted. It was amazing.
Since the glory days of Eurovision, Marc has been living in Galway, carving out a career as a live performer and singer-songwriter.
One of the people that I've always been influenced by in my music was John Denver. I think probably because he was also a singer-songwriter who played guitar. So that way you're kind of self-sufficient and you could be put on stage and to perform just by yourself. So I always did John Denver songs, and as a result we decided we'd take it one step further and eventually put a show together with Kevin Hawke from RTE, produced it. And he narrated all John Denver's life story, and I performed the songs with Paul Gurney, our musical director, and it was lovely. And more recently then we decided to compile a new album of songs from that period of time, be it before Eurovision or after. The album is called Meet Me Halfway, and it's a collection of 12 songs, 10 of which I've written and co-written with people, and 2 of John Denver songs because of the fact we were touring the show at the time. There's songs from life in general, both personal experiences, experiences of friends and people that I've spoken to, because I've always had a good pair of ears for listening, so people always tend to tell me their life stories. I don't use their original names, by the way, if anybody is worrying. But I always find it's good to draw from life for your songs, and then people can identify then with the various things. So the album is out there, it's doing exceptionally well, and it's getting very well received in other countries at the moment as well, outside Ireland, which I'm thrilled about, because they're very dear to my heart, and they're true to life.
When you're feeling sad and lonely, think of me. When you need a friend to lean on me.
Daniel has always been a great help to me in the business, and a good friend for the last 17, 18 years. But every time I sent him a song, he used to always say, it's a nice song, but it doesn't suit me. And I could never figure out why, until now, because it was Dan, my manager, that eventually suggested the 2 of us would get together and try writing. Because he's a very lyrical voice, and as a result, he definitely has the ability, I felt, to put words in a certain way and to get his message across, which he does.
One song which has received a considerable amount of media attention, Marc wrote with Magella, Daniel's wife, as a surprise for him on their wedding day. When I Found You has become one of the most requested songs on Irish radio and very popular at weddings.
Thankfully it's been very well received, and it's been apparently become one of the most requested songs for weddings as a result. But on the day of the wedding, when Daniel and Magella got married, after the first dance, Magella and I went up on the stage and sang When I Found You to one very shocked Daniel O'Donnell.
Because you're everything I've lived for, somehow it feels so right. You're the sunlight in the morning, you're the stars above at night. I want this day to last forever, I know it always will. And I thank God above for making dreams come true, 'cause he gave me all I wished when I found you. just make me smile with the stories you tell. No one could ever replace you. Sometimes
Now that the singer-songwriter is back in vogue, Marc is in demand. If he's not touring or writing, he's taking part in Panto, and he still manages to host a popular radio programme on Galway Bay FM.
So between radio, television, acting and writing, I tour. In between all those little things, I tour when I can. So these days we're touring Northern Ireland, doing a lot of shows up there with Warren Smith, another singer from Northern Ireland. And that's exceptionally good, and enjoying the chance to meet people. Also, for the month of May, I'm touring Australia with Daniel. So that I'm really looking forward to. The future is looking well. I've started writing the new album, getting songs together for that. And lots of more surprises along the way, I can promise that.
be the only tears you cry. May the universe guide you in everything you do. 'Cause love will always see you through.
A successful songster, of course.